Welcome to Truth Forum, a forum to discuss truth in a friendly surrounding like we do at home at the kitchen table. I'm your host, Dr. Smith, along with my co-host, Deacon DJ Jones. We will lead compelling, relatable, honest conversations. We will talk about wealth, economics, how to solve our community problems. Our guests will range from community leaders, professionals, and real people whose stories will touch and inspire you. The vision is to catalyze and energize and bring people together. If you'd like to be a guest at the kitchen table, you may call us at 269-282-1490 or email us at kingdombuildersworldwide2@gmail.com. We're excited today that we're going to have two special, gifted, anointed guests. We have Sister Jessica LeGrand, she's the director, and we have Wanda Towns. She's the production manager. If I messed it up, they will correct me when I bring them on the show. Of course, my main man, my co-host, Deacon Jones. How you doing, Deacon?
I'm doing absolutely great today, Bishop.
Well, you know, the weather just changed on us. We woke up at church and it got a blizzard, and every time that happens, I get worried because church folks don't come to church when there's a blizzard. So I was worried about that, and then the sun came out.
Sun came out and everything melted.
Yeah.
Most of it
Well,
melted.
we're excited today, man. We got two powerful ladies on the show. I think it's so in order because we're also recognizing Women's History Month 2022. So before I introduce my guests, and I always throw you a curveball, Deacon, because you and I we just real close like that. Did you know there was Women's History Month?
I did not know there was a Women's History Month. No, I did not.
Shaking my
Hey.
head. All right, well, first of all, let's bring on our guest today. To my right, closest right, native of Battle Creek, I'm assuming. She went to school with my brother, I guess. So Jessica LeGrand. And before I give your title, let me just say, and Sister Wanda Towns. Sister Wanda and Jessica, before I ask questions about your show, tell us your connection to this show play called Time and Time Again. What's your role in that? Then I won't mess up.
Okay, so really, I'm excited about Time and Time Again. My role is I am the director.
So I was right.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Wanda is the writer.
Good. So before we ask questions, promote it, encourage you to talk more about the show. Let's talk briefly about this beautiful thing. I believe it was in 1987, Deacon Jones, and to our two guests. It's for March 1st and it ends on Thursday, March 31st, Women's History Month. It was the he's not late president. Jimmy Carter was the president that authorized this and approved this between 1988 and 1994. But many of you all would have remembered a real powerful lady. She was in the school system, and they knew her very well throughout the city of Battle Creek. We used to have these senior citizens annual event, and before her departure, she was a part of that program. She had some beautiful children, and of course, one of her daughter is with us today on the show. But Miss LeGrand was your mother. What was it like? Well, from the outside looking in, she seemed like a really educated, strong lady. What was it like being in a home of a powerful lady like that in honor of Women's History Month? Your mother.
Well, my mother, Nina LeGrand, was very powerful. So being in the house with her was like, it was always fun. She was always educating us, whether reading something to us or having us write something down, or she loved education, and she loved to educate other people.
Yes.
And her real cause was to bring people together.
Awesome. And so we're here today, and Ms. Wanda, we're here today. Any reflection you want to give a shout out, and it could be you, it could be your mom, children, just because of this month. Let's celebrate for a moment this month. I'm going to give a shout out to my mother, who I think
Yeah.
is a role model. My mom was the first African American supervisor at General Motors.
Wow.
It was called Fisher Bodies back then.
Yeah.
In Kalamazoo, Michigan, and it was tough. She was in the 70s, and she was trying to make some decisions among a lot of white men at the time, and it wasn't easy.
Right.
And she did it, and so she has been such a strong impact. Of course, I have a beautiful wife, been married for 32 years. She's an educator. And then, of course, I have my daughter, which is a lawyer. And I guess I'm kind of saying that, y'all, because I love women. And if I ever came off as degrading women, that's the last thing I want anyone to think, because without them, my grandmother, Gussie, and Ruby Elizabeth, those are strong women. And my Aunt Mary, which was a part of your mom program, she's 94, I believe. And she's just like some great people. So I celebrate the women. But Miss Wanda, what about you? Anything you want to shout out?
Well, again, my name's Wanda Towns. I am a native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My mother's name is Wilhelmina Richardson. My mother only had a 7th grade education. She worked from home, just taking care of us and other kids in the family. But the one thing she instilled in me is, and inspired in me, is to be respectful to others and to love one another. You know, so I thank God for her.
Awesome, awesome. Dickie DJ, what you got?
Always want to, give a shout out to Mom. She was like the neighborhood mother for all my friends. Yeah. And then those that didn't live in the neighborhood, she was also kind of a mother figure to them. But my grandmother, Charlotte Long, my mom's mother, she was the first Black female sergeant at Jackson Prison back in the day.
So that's where your sister got her name from?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
And we referred to her as Grandma Charlotte, and Grandma Charlotte ruled with an iron fist. And she commanded and demanded respect. When you walked into her house, you knew exactly what to expect. You take your shoes off and you wash your hands all the time. And one thing I can remember about my grandmother, you could not take a drink out of anything you were drinking if you were eating at the table until you ate half what was on your plate.
All right.
That was just, one of her rules. But she was a strong woman, very committed and dedicated to her family.
So before we get started on this wonderful interview, please put a shout out to your mother, your grandmother, anyone special. And throughout the show, Deacon Jones will look on his device and give that name out. A special shout out to your mom, your grandmother, any lady that we recognize, school teachers. Can you all remember your kindergarten teacher? Anybody here can do that?
Yeah.
Who was yours, DJ?
Mrs. Vaughn.
Miss Vaughn.
Mrs. Vaughn,
Kirk's
I believe.
mother?
No, actually Mrs. Tatum, I think it was back in the day.
Okay.
I think her name was Mrs. Tatum.
I had Miss Van Cleve at Dudley.
Oh.
Dudley School. Miss Van Cleve. That's all I can remember. I remember this. I don't remember nobody else. Oh, take that back. I also have Miss Martin. Miss Martin at WK.
Yep.
You remember Miss Martin?
I have Miss Martin.
She getting your always. She said, "Do not parade your ignorance," something like that. And I think I had Miss Carr. And we also had. She's a 6th grade teacher. She goes to. I keep saying my old church where I was raised in, Reverend Perry Old Church, Mount Zion. Mrs. What's her name? Deering.
Miss Daring.
Those are my teachers. So thank you, ladies, for what you all have done. Well, let's get started on this powerful show. What I did was I kind of put some questions together that I think the audience would like to know. And I know YouTube will be able to help us out. First of all, just tell us the name and a little about, and this for whoever want to answer. Tell us the name and a little about the play that is coming to stage this month in Battle Creek. And that could be whoever wants to answer those questions.
Well, the name of the play is Time and Time Again, and it is a gripping story about love, faith, and God's merciful hand, how he continues to bless us time and time again. Everybody goes through a storm in life, and we're all challenged with COVID and everything else that's happening. So I felt that this was an excellent time to bring everyone together as a community in faith and in fellowship.
So, and I'm probably go off of my questions based upon you're telling me where you came from. So the first thing is, what inspired you or Mr. Grant, whoever it was, to put this production together?
I was inspired to put it together because going through COVID over the last couple of years, by me not having any family here, I was basically going to work, coming home, and I lost that human-to-human interaction.
Absolutely.
I felt so alone, and I'm like, if I feel this way, how does everyone else feel? And I just wanted to have an opportunity to bring everyone together as a
Wow.
community.
So when did you? I go off script so many times. Forgive me. So when did you come here to Battle Creek?
I came here 12 years ago.
Okay.
I opened Firekeepers Casino, almost 13.
So you're the one that helped open Fire Casino.
I am.
Is that right? Are you what's the correct term? It's a joke. Are you
Native American?
yeah.
I am not. Although history may say differently.
I know that's right. I know that's
Absolutely.
right. Look it up.
Yeah.
So okay. So but how did that come about? How did you get you apply for that job or something?
I have been in the casino business for over 20 years now. I went to Grambling State University, moved to Grambling.
All right.
Moved to Buffalo, New York with my husband. I was working as an agent for Allstate Insurance, and I knew the casino was opening up, and I always tell everyone this story. And I had been out to Vegas and Atlantic City, and I was like, you know what? I do not want to play. So I said, I'm going to get a job there, because if you worked at the casino, you couldn't play. So I got into business over 20 years ago, working for the casino, and it just transpired, and I just moved from one location to the other.
Now we're going to talk about time again. But I just have to ask these kind of questions. So have you experienced witnessing the addiction of people who come in and you just see the same kind of people every day, and they're just like totally just out there? In that life, or you're in the food department, the cooking department. Where are you? Where
I'm
are you
actually
at?
in finance, so I oversee the cash flow.
Oh, that's a lot of money,
Millions,
isn't it?
billions, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All through
How-
Battle Creek. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. You'd be very surprised how much money is floating. But to answer your question, there are some people that are repetitive coming in and out. But again, at some point in time, you have to change that, and you work yourself through that.
Wow.
Because eventually, two things are going to happen. You're either going to win a lot of money or you're going to lose everything you have.
Do you have any of those characters in your play?
I do not.
Oh,
no,
okay, I'm
I
just
do
curious.
not.
So how did the great Miss LeGrand get connected with you? How did y'all come about and connect? Where you fit? How did it happen?
Well, Jessica and I attend Second Missionary Baptist Church. Reverend Wine is our
The
pastor.
great Reverend, let's give a shout out to the great Reverend Wine, great preacher.
Absolutely.
Great preacher. He did a eulogy for my cousin, and he a very great theologian. I love how he, put his exegesis together. Good preacher too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So Jessica and I work on the media team.
Is that right?
Absolutely. So when you see the live screen, Jessica and I, among others, are behind that camera. So I was sitting one Sunday, and we were both on media, and I said, Jessica, I'm going to do a play. And she said, you are? And I said, yes. So she said, what's it about? So I told her what it was about, and she said, I studied theater. I'm like, you did? And so she said, yeah. I said, well, how would you like to be my director? She said, oh my God, are you kidding? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Is that right? Is
Yeah.
that right? I want to give a shout out to, and I'm for sure Miss Jessica has the same connections since she was in the theater. So Mr. Elliott I was the first male African American that did the Hello Dolly. And that was before, you know how y'all wear those tights?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the leotard.
Right. So I had to wear the leotards, right? And
Wouldn't
I
I
did,
love to
well,
see that?
hello, Dolly. And I had a tap dance. And I never forget, he taught me, there was an exercise, at the Learning Center where we used to do that. And he would tell us that if you ever miss your mark or make a mistake, look at the exercise, because the audience really don't know that you messed up. And if you keep their eyes focused, I never forgot that. And I see him throughout the time. And so he was a very, very, very helpful in that whole acting for me. Is he a part of your church by any chance? Or?
No,
Okay.
he's not, but you're right. Mr. Elliott taught me like almost everything I know in my younger years prior to college. We got to give him a shout out. He is the master theater extraordinaire here in Battle Creek, and he knows the essence of theater and how to put it all together and tell a good story. So
So Mr. Elliott,
he's awesome.
We give you a shout out, and we love you, and we appreciate you. He was one of the first, when I first came in town, he was one of the first men I recognized in the city, because what I did was I thought about people of the shoulders that I stood on. Outside of my mom and my father, there were other people that really helped me, and you didn't realize how effective they were until you just get older. And so I remember that story, and so now we're talking about it. Well, Ms. Wanda, have you put together any other production in the past?
I have. I recently promoted Seasons Change back in October of last year. It was a great show as well. It was the performance was at WK Kellogg's.
Okay. So let's go off the scene and DJ, come in the conversation. We're just having conversation on our kitchen table. The theater is extremely powerful, and it can change culture, change behavior. I know we all have heard this before. When Tyler Perry first got started, because we would go to his plays, he made some promises. He said he probably would not get involved with Hollywood because he knew what Hollywood could do, blah, blah, blah. Well, and we're not judging him at all, but we see how he went to a whole new level, and now he's a billionaire. My question to you is, what's your mission? Are you trying to articulate a message? And what happens if the big boys come or the big girls come and want to take Miss Wanda to a whole other level and change your approach, your message? What you talk about that?
I'm very open. To God be the glory is all I have to say. This is my first playwright. God gave me a message to bring to the people to inspire them. So to God be the glory. And if something else were to come about, as long as it's, I'm, what's the word I want to say, led by God, then I'm open to do it.
So is it people, events, or just inspiration that inspires you to write the plays? The last play you said you wrote, what was it?
Seasons Change.
What was that about?
Seasons Change was still about community, a family, struggles, that we have to deal with in everyday life, and overcoming it as well. And it was a gospel play.
Okay.
So I saw there's going to be, when I read this, it makes me think that there's also some singing.
Absolutely.
So how did y'all, and I'm also told it's a lot of, and we'll talk about this more, Battle Creek actors or actresses. How did you recruit these singers? And are you allowed to tell us some of the singers?
Oh, absolutely. I had an audition early on. Most of them were recruited by myself and Jessica. We went out and spoke with as many people as we possibly could. We knew a lot of people in the churches in the community that were singers, and we invited them to come out and audition. Okay. The one concern that we did have was finding male singers or actors. Okay. Very difficult in this area for some reason. We had lots of female, but very few male.
Well, I will say Miss LeGrand's sister, I think, reached out to my brother and then reached out to me, but it was only because it was kind of late, because I probably would have showed up.
Oh, okay.
But it was, I would have played the part. Next time. I had to play a good part now. Don't put me in the corner.
Oh, absolutely not.
So you have auditions,
yes.
Just acting auditions. Is it the same people that do your last show, the same ones that are doing this show?
Nope. They're all new actors, and they're all local from the Battle Creek area. Okay. I do have one that is named Pastor Todd Henderson, and he is from the Detroit area.
Okay, all right. Well, next time you have a play, maybe I can get a audition or something. You heard me sing.
Well, can you sing again?
I'm not going to do it now.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I'm going to have to practice. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But in other words,
So, Ms. LeGrand, did you like sit in your little stereotype chair and got the hat on and got the little cut and all that stuff? Or you like just walking around the church? First of all, where do y'all practice at?
We practice in the basement of Second Baptist.
Okay.
And so, no, I'm an active type of director, so I'm up and moving around and watching. I very rarely sit down when I'm directing theater. Film, of course, when you're up, when you're directing film, you're everywhere as well. But this is theater, so I've been active. The actors are local, but some of them have never acted before.
Okay.
And so it's been a lot of energy and time that we've taken to actually show them physically what they need to do.
Okay. Has Mr. Elliott showed up at all? Just to maybe sit down and see you guys?
Not yet.
Okay.
He may be, and I'm
Okay.
expecting him probably at one of the shows, but he has given us advice.
Okay.
So I have reached out to him and asked him different questions about the actual stage and things like that. So I have been in contact with him.
Awesome. Again, just to remind you all, let's give a shout out to our women of leadership. Again, if names are mentioned, we would love to call their names out. Who are some of the cast members that my audience would know?
Well, Michael Westry, I don't know if you know her.
Okay.
Sam Jackson, which is my nephew.
Okay.
He's in there. Kim Allen.
Okay.
I don't know. You
Right.
may remember DJ is Kim Banks, but now
Yes.
she's Kim Allen.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Kim,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
She's in there, and don't know if you guys would really know because some of them are younger than us.
Right, okay.
So I know for myself, since I've been back, my sister will say, so and so, and I'm like, I really
Right, I
don't
forgot you-
remember
yeah, right.
because they're younger. But we've got quite a few, or a lot of local actors. I don't know if you know Ken Richardson. He goes to our church. He's in there.
Okay.
Just Shanette Bowser.
I was just going to ask you,
Bowser's in there.
was my high school friend, neighborhood friend. We grew up together in Orchard Park. So listen, y'all, if you are on the show and you're watching the show, put your name on the screen so we can give you a shout out because that's going to help grow. We really want to support this event. Give us some details about the tickets, the time, the date, the location. Of course, we have the flyer, but I want to really help promote it. And then I would like to purchase, I saw a group, so maybe 8 tickets, purchase 8 tickets for you, and then they can come by the church and pick them up. But we'll talk more about that, okay?
Thank you.
So tell us about, just give me some details about the tickets and the time. Of course, we do have the flyer, and my director will make sure this is available for you. Of course, we're live today, and then the next time this will be on actual AccessVision will be at 3, so it will be, you have 2 shows, I believe. Tell me about your 2 shows, time-wise.
So, time and time again is performing on March the 19th at W.K. Kellogg's Auditorium. The shows are at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m.
I see it right here, yes.
Absolutely. So that's W.K. Kellogg's Auditorium, 50 West Van Buren here in Battle Creek, Michigan. Tickets, you can go to ticketleap.com. There's also a phone number listed on the flyer. It's 269-830-8606. Also, you can purchase tickets at the box office the day of the show.
So, are you interested in doing more plays locally?
Absolutely.
We have a space at Kingdom Builders. We seat 800 people. Ms. LeGrand knows about it since she's a native, Southeastern School Building. And it may be another good spot in the future. And we'll make ourselves available. We're doing some construction now But we'll definitely make ourselves available in the future. If you ever think about going to that level where you would like to do that, I'm for sure you'll probably save a little money from Kellogg, because I'm for sure WK is like really high. So I know what's her name? Kathy with Miss Math. I don't want to say Mathis. Miss what's Kathy's new name?
I'm not sure what her last name
Kathy,
is.
the singer. Well, everybody knows Kathy Mathis, but she's, I don't want to disrespect her name at all, but she's married. She's a preacher. She raised here and went to Macedonia. Great singer. We know all about it. She'll come here and do something also in the summertime at the same facility, and that was a concern. So we want to make ourselves available. Again, Ms. Wanda, tell us more about this whole COVID got us messed up. We had our mask up. People were losing their lives. People were going through so much, and you want us to be able to come to your play and just kind of exhale. Are we going to laugh? Are we going to cry? Are we going to rejoice? Are we going to shout? What are we going to do? What are some of the things? The new term for young people is energy. So everybody use the word energy, and they talk about energy and space, which is all new for me. But the energy or my space, so what is that energy and space you expect us audience to get from your play?
Well, I actually have to say everyone's going to be inspired by all means. You will be rejoiced. You will feel spirit from those that are singing within, the play. I feel like, the spirit is going to move within us. Also, it's going to be fire. I mean, the play's just going to be fire. It's going to be lit. Is that the young term now? Absolutely. Lit.
I don't know. That's old too. Let me see. It's lit New York. Is that a word? That current son?
Still lit.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So lots of singing, lots of rejoicing. I believe everyone in the audience is going to have a connection to the play in some way or another. What do you think, Jessica?
Yes. You're gonna feel the spirit.
Good.
And what it is it's a family who's coping through COVID, like we all had to do.
Okay.
And so within that, there's crisis, and within that crisis, there's that spirit-led movement that we hope sends a message to the audience that will have them leave different people than when they came.
Wow.
Because again, the message is hope, love, and togetherness.
Yeah. Now, you didn't say you were from New Orleans. You didn't say New Orleans, did you?
Nope, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, okay. So that area is a little different, but when the crisis of our situation here, which was a worldwide global situation, but you had to have some history about when New Orleans had that flood.
Absolutely.
Can you connect? I mean, that was a one situation, and this was a worldwide situation, but we remember sending money down there. How do you connect those when tragic happened, what does that do to people?
Well, I don't know what it does to people, but I know I just start praying. Because I believe time and time again, God will bring me through.
Wow.
So again, that's my encouragement to everyone. My message is that, that you look toward the Lord for your help, because God will see us through.
Are you a preacher?
I am not. No, I said that pretty fast.
You said it like, no. But where did that faith come from then? Where did the Bible says faith cometh by hearing. So of course you're hearing the word of God, but you have a strong conviction, and your faith is lit. Right word, lit. Where did that all come from then? Everybody can't write. It takes time to write, and everybody can't be a director. And you're dealing with new people. You're dealing with novice. You may deal with people who think they know everything. I mean, it has to be tough. How are you guys doing that, Ms. LeGrand? I mean, that's like starting a new church. Wow, y'all get all these folks in, and then they're probably volunteering their time, maybe.
Yes.
So that's kudos to y'all, because you guys are bringing something to our community that we also need. We need something else to do. So thank you for that. But how do you deal with that we don't want to keep the vibe negative, but that negative vibe where it just looked like today was a bad rehearsal. How do you bounce back from that? Because I know it happens.
Yeah, and so Wanda and I work really well together, and so what we do is we always are taking that practical approach.
Okay.
So we realize that when people come in, they're tired from work, and their focus may not be there. It's my job as a director to always bring the focus back, however, no matter how far we may get from it, and then just understand that it's just one rehearsal. Now, in this case, we didn't really have a lot of time, as much as we needed for a production like this. So we've had to push and push and push really hard. And I have to say that the actors have responded. So we really haven't had any prima donnas or anything like that. Everybody's willing to listen, take the instruction, and correct it. So it's been challenging but rewarding.
How can the churches, how can the leaders, whoever they are, how can we help make this better for you two? What can we do? What can do? Every church should buy 5 tickets, 10 tickets. What can we do to help you and Ms. LeGrand say, well, at least the community got behind us?
Okay, so one thing I want to say, though, because you're talking about, like, what can you do as far as making this production?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, buy tickets.
Okay.
Do that. But in the future, and I'm glad you brought that up earlier, a facility to rehearse in this city has been very taxing on us to try to find without exuberant costs.
Mm-hmm.
So by you offering that,
Yes.
I love it.
You got it.
Wanda.
You got it.
Absolutely.
And only because we was in construction, we couldn't this year when I heard about it. It's a full stage, everything you want. Matter of fact, we got Mr. Banks putting in the air conditioner, so we're gonna finally have air. We're gonna have it ready. So hey, great. So we're encouraging every church, if possible, to purchase some tickets. All the information is available. We're going to purchase. I think I saw a group rate in here, so we're going to purchase. Yes, I saw. Well, first of all, tell me what is the VIP. Tell me what. Do I get to get behind the backstage and meet you guys, or what? Talk to the head actor or actress?
Absolutely. VIP, you have a special access door. You'll receive a VIP badge at the door. You will receive a free playbook. You will also have front row seating in the first 10 rows, and you can also meet the cast after the show and take pictures. So make sure you bring your phones so you can take pictures.
I like that.
Yeah, and I just want to add, when you ask what can we do, as a people, I would like for everyone to reach out to someone that's elderly, someone that may be feeling alone, someone that hasn't been out in a while. Get to enjoy that interaction, between people, and bring them to the show. Make it a father, son outing. Make it a mother-daughter outing. Make it a son-mother outing. Just, help the elderly. Look out for them. Make sure that, their life isn't, a struggle and a hardship with not interacting with others.
I got a question,
You
too.
just gave us a revelation. Sorry, Deacon.
Go ahead.
You
Go ahead.
next. You gave us a revelation. So this one we're going to change up. We're going to change up on our deal. If you're watching us, pass it, share the note. We will get, what do our bus seat, 12?
14.
We'll get, I'm still at 8. We'll get 8 senior citizens. We'll pick you up and we'll take you to the play. So you're going to worry about being dropped off.
That's
Let's do it like that. We will give, so we're going to do 45 VIPs because I want you moms and you dads to get on the backstage. So starting today, you know our number at Kingdom Builders Worldwide. Unfortunately, it's going to be the first 8. We may move it to 12 if it's 12. Senior citizens. Now, that number is funny. So I'm talking about 65, not 62.
No.
So we're going to do 65 and up. So if you're 65 and up and you would love to attend this event, we will make that Saturday available. We will pick you up on our bus, and we will take you and drop you off, and then we'll come back at the end of the show and pick you up. Make it like she said, a senior event, and just wonderful thing. Put your mink coat on, put your outfit on, and just make it a day. So all my seniors that's been in our program, I hope you call us. I hope you have your children call us, and I will put that on the website so you don't forget about this opportunity. Free Saturday night. Come and enjoy it. We love you. We love you, and we love to have you there. Deacon, you're about to ask a question?
Yeah, I've seen the flyers around, and I'm sure they're probably at the different churches, around the community. And I believe there was an advertisement on Facebook.
Yes.
Is there any other way that you guys get the word out that you have these plays? I know because it is Women's Month, that's not the reason for the play, right? That's not the reason why you're having to play out. However, would it be worth, like, say, maybe, contacting, Channel 3? Because they always advertise plays. They advertise stuff from Kalamazoo. I always see they got the Barn Theater, and they always got stuff that they're advertising. Would that be even worth maybe say, hey, getting a plug in from Channel 3?
That would be worth
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
would.
And I'm not sure how that would even happen. It used to be in this building. I think they moved out of this office back over to Kalamazoo. However, but I think that would be a good idea to do that in the future.
Absolutely.
Help get the word out.
Thank you.
That's a very good idea.
So people are asking it one more time. I want to make sure I'm correct. The first play is at 3 p.m.
Yes.
So that's what's a question. So that means we will probably start picking you all up at 2 o'clock. We would come to your home, okay? So and then the other time was 7 p.m. Okay, we may do the first show.
Okay.
Well, we may not have a driver for the night show. We'll try to do both shows, y'all. We'll try to do both shows. So based upon the cause and based upon the demand, we're going to make sure we get our seniors there.
Thank you.
We never want transportation to ever be an issue. And of course, churches, I can't control you and tell you what you could do, but maybe that's a help. We can help our seniors. Let's give them a chance to come. I am not that knowledgeable. I've only been here now for 3 years. Have there ever been a play done before? Do y'all know in the city?
From what I'm told, we had a play over 20 years ago here in the city. And then the October play that I brought was the first in 20 years.
Okay. And I'm for sure, even though she's a phenomenal woman, she's not a city commissioner anymore, but I believe she attended your church, Miss Lynn Workray.
Yes.
Okay, so have we done a proclamation?
We have not.
Okay, so Mayor, I will be contacting you. You have 2 commissioners, and they're both wonderful women, Miss Lenasia and Miss Bonica. So they represent this district. We're going to collaborate, whereas Miss Wanda and Miss LeGrand could get a proclamation as, upholding or supporting time and time again. So I will work on that. So that could be something shared because you're making history again. I think that's a powerful thing.
Thank you.
I think that's a powerful thing. Let's continue to talk about our show, but does anyone die on your show?
No, they
You
do
kept it
not.
positive.
Absolutely. I want it to be very uplifting. But again, someone is near death.
Okay.
And through prayer and fellowship and family and worship, then that person is healed.
How did you guys afford all your props? How did you financially, because you're charging at the end, so how did you get the resources prior to?
All I can say is to God be the glory.
Okay, now listen, I'm a preacher.
I know.
So I got to God be the glory.
I'm
And I know
telling you.
God is doing it, but I need to know how did you do
I'm
it?
telling you, it's like, it is whatever is needed, God sends that person to me. Your call was God sent.
Okay. Well,
so
thank you.
again, I've worked with the last play and knowing, how to keep my budget down. So basically I'm working, with a budget, and it's not real elaborate by any means. Like Jessica said, the most expensive thing is the cost of the auditorium.
Oh, no doubt. When I saw Kellogg's, I saw that. No doubt about it. So, what's your thought about, I'm going to mention Spike Lee, the late John Singleton. Are you with me still? We know these guys? Of course, Tyler Perry. These are all men writers. But then I found out later, people like Kim Fields, Tootie, she wrote, she write. Have any of those people inspired you? Were you ever inspired by, and I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't even ask those names. Who inspired you to be a writer, if you had anybody? And then as a director, who inspired you?
I am going to be perfectly honest with you.
To God be the glory.
No.
Okay.
I had no intentions of writing. I've never wrote anything. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
I love it.
A couple of years ago, I went to go see a play called Hats in Kalamazoo. And I really loved it, and I wanted to bring it to our community. So when I started reaching out to them saying, hey, where can I get a play to bring to, Battle Creek, I wasn't getting very far. And so one of the ladies that I knew was in the play, she goes to my church, and I went out and I said, hey, Miss Brenda, thank you so much, Brenda, for the message. I said, can you help me bring hats to the play? And she says, well, I don't even think they're doing it anymore, but why don't you write it yourself? And with that, I was inspired to write it myself. To God be the glory.
So, but none of those, so that you never had anyone of those names motivate you, inspired you?
None.
How about you?
Well, the first one that comes to mind for me is Cicely Tyson as an actress.
Okay.
When I was younger and watching Roots and Sounder and things like that from an actor perspective. But from a film perspective, I would have to say John Singleton and Spike Lee, because they both direct from the heart.
From the heart.
And I didn't spend much time in film school, maybe about 2 years, but one of the things I did learn was that you can't let someone else dictate to you your story and how you want to tell it.
Well, I'm not trying to take anything away. I don't want to steal y'all, because Reverend Wine is a friend of mine, so I ain't trying to steal anyone. But I do know in these last days, sometimes just a sermon doesn't communicate as well as the drama. And I think that is so needed. And before I even met you two, I've always had an envision of someone dramatizing my sermon. Because, I want, my son, he's pretty good in the technology. I'm looking for preaching a sermon. I got this. And the reason is because our young children, they're waking up on all this technology now. And it's beautiful screens. And I'm not saying we got to just totally give in, but that's the world they're from. And then sometimes our services, becomes outdated to that new generation. So that play thing is powerful. Your play is going to communicate differently than the message. And so I really I pray that this thing continue on, because we need to have that type of communication. What's your thought about that, Deacon?
I think that's a great idea. Like you said, kids nowadays are more visual, and they're into that technology. And I was imagining what you were saying as you were talking, the bringing your sermon alive, preaching that sermon, but actually having somebody acting out what you're preaching, from start to finish, all the biblical perspectives and mirroring it to what's happening in real life. That would be a powerful message for young people. I think so. Yeah.
I preach.
You have to get the right people to act that out too.
Oh yeah, I preached a sermon called "Flush It." When I was in Indiana, I was more creative in Indiana than I am now, and I had a brand new toilet and everything you need to flush. And I was preaching, and I said, "Flush it." That's what I used to do, the hooping. But it worked. It was so. I also preached a dead issue, and I had a casket, And that's when I was a lot smaller. That's one reason why I said no when y'all asked me to come on y'all show to be an actress.
The vanity.
No, big time vanity. Because I was big time vanity. I was not going to get on the stage. No. So that was one reason why I said no, but I'm getting myself together. But I preached a dead issue, and I was inside of a casket, and I was talking about how when you come out of your deadness, you got to, live a new life. And I had a black robe on, and I was able to change my robe. And when I came out, I had my white robe on.
Wow.
Those type of sermons, people
dramatic.
never forgot about.
Right.
And I want to bring that back. So that's why I was so impressed with this, because I think your pastor and me, if we could start sharing this talent, this could become a ministry. And then you all could go to different churches doing it.
Absolutely.
And then you go full time and you go full time, because this is needed. And what it does is it get people. The ministry is so much bigger than just the preacher, the deacon, the usher, or the choir director. It's so much more. You can get kids that know nothing about God, but put them in a play, and then they'll catch it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just like when we were kids, we used to do plays, and it worked. The little Easter plays, it worked.
Yes, it did.
And so I think what you're doing, what you both are doing, is awesome. I want to say your sister been a really good supporter. She's been making phone calls. So give your sister a shout out, because I keep messing up her last name.
Yeah, I have to give my sister Jennifer LeGrand Williams a shout out. She's been doing marketing, wardrobe, everything. She gets our food. She sets up our meals. So shout out, Jenny. You've been doing a great job.
So when you say your meals, what, you feed your actors when they're practicing?
Every Saturday.
And sometimes during the week.
So do y'all have any more practice before the event?
Yep,
Yes.
we have 4 practices.
You have 4 more practices at Second Baptist.
Yes.
So your next one will be what, Monday, Tuesday, whatever?
Monday through Thursday.
Okay, so I got staff that's working in the back. Is there a day we can bring you pizza?
Oh,
Absolutely. How about Wednesday?
Wednesday at work.
Can you do Wednesday? What be a
Wednesday.
time?
7? Would that work, Jessica? 7.
Okay, so we're going to provide pizza. Either your sister can let me know how many we want to make, or you can tell us before the show is over. We'll bring pizza.
Well, thank
And
you.
he asked me, how are we doing this financially?
Well,
Can you believe that?
This is all new, and I heard about it. I'm excited about it. And then again, Shanette and I, we literally grew up together. She lived right across the street from me, and we used to do family vacations together.
Oh, wow.
So the Bowsers and the Smiths and the Walkers, we were all, and the Brown, late Tyrone Brown, we all grew up together. We were the original Orchard Park gang. the OP they talk about now, we were the real deal. We literally, and when the street lights came on, we all had to go home and go to bed.
Yep.
And so when I heard she was a part of it, of the cast, I was excited to hear that. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Listen, our time is about to wind up. Deacon Jones, why don't you add some flavor to encouraging this event and what we're doing, and again recognizing our ladies and your success in this country. Just say a few things before we move on.
Yeah, I think what Wanda and Jessica are bringing is needed here in the city of Battle Creek, and we do need some more flavor in town, and hopefully this will continue to progress, and there'll be more plays coming, and maybe other things will manifest from doing this. But I think it's really nice that you guys are recognizing the struggles that people went through during those COVID times, and some people are still going through them to this day. So this play will hopefully help inspire those to think far ahead. Because even though the pandemic is not really over, some say it's over, but it's not really over.
Right,
We just have our head above water. So hopefully this play will help open up the minds and the hearts and reach out to God for some answers. And for some relief, for some help. Because we always need God, and God is continually working in our lives. So
Time and time again.
Time and time again. So I look for this play to continue to help bless other people's lives.
So Ms. LeGrand, you have 1 or 2 minutes to just tell us why we need to come, why you need to say whatever you feel led to, and then Ms. Wanda, you do the same thing before we conclude.
Well, you should come and see time and time again. It's inspiring. It's something that Battle Creek hasn't seen in a long time. It has local actors, a local writer. I'm a local director, and you are going to enjoy this play. And like I said, you will not leave the same. You will leave a different person.
Ms. Wanda?
I just want to invite everyone to come out to Time and Time Again. It's this Saturday, again, 3 p.m., 7 p.m., W.K. Kellogg's Auditorium. You can go to ticketleap.com to get your tickets. You can buy your tickets at the ticket booth at the auditorium. You can also check out our Facebook page, which is Time and Time Again. So please, everyone, just come out and support. Let's be a community. Yes, bring unity, love, and be inspired.
So, special prayers to the Tuggle family. Nothing to worry. Just we want to have prayer for them. Those are my family members. Shirley Tuggle was also supposed to come on the show today, but some things took place. So please, please pray for them. If you want to know what's happening, you call them directly, all right? But pray for them. But also, all of our senior citizens, we have 8 tickets just for you. Those that are working in my studio right now, those that are doing the production work at the organization. So Sister Yvonne, she takes care of the phone. She's available. She's aware of the conversation. Tiffany runs our transportation area. She's aware of the conversation. So just call. When they say, well, what was that bishop talking about? We'll figure it out for you. We'll get you all there, and we'll pay for your ticket. Also, we're going to accommodate them so they can have lunch or dinner on a Wednesday. We are excited about all that is happening. Again, we thank you so much for coming and being with us on the kitchen table. Always remember, one of the things you're supposed to have as a people, if you're going to network with power, you gotta know where you are. You gotta have a map and a globe. And you know, even today, these two powerful women understand that. They recognize that there's other ways of articulating a message. Many are sad and hurt because of this pandemic. We even lost loved ones. People who are still trying to figure out tomorrow. Well, this play is going to give you some hope. So I'm encouraging you to come, and not just come, but thank God for our own local director, our own local actors and actresses. And again, thank you so much. Always remember to live in the present, but at the same time. The children of Issachar said they understood the signs of the time. We must know that. I always close by acknowledging my ancestors, the maternal side of my family, my wonderful grandmother, Gussie Smith, the late Gussie Smith, Edward West Smith, where I got my name from, and my late father, Hugh Daniel Smith Sr. Also, my mom's side, and that's my paternal side, I apologize. On my mother's side, maternal side, the late Leo Del Perry Sr., and Ruby Elizabeth Perry, and my beautiful mom. She'll be celebrating her birthday on March 16th, and we're going to have a wonderful time. We love you, Mom, and thank you. Let's all come together and pray like we always do. DJ, reach that power, man. Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for these two beautiful, powerful women of God that's bringing a message to this wonderful town. Bless them and bless this production, and thank you for this show. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Man.